What up, Dokkanners? So things are kind of slow right now on Dokkan, but we got this tweet last night for the schedule coming up. As in the May producer's letter, the roadmap for campaigns has changed. Campaigns celebrating the game's release will be held twice a year. So they're phrasing things very interestingly, even though it essentially means something that we've already known. But we're gonna go ahead and make a video on it. Why? Because this is what we do. This is the Dokkan content creator grind. When things are bland, you gotta grasp at straws and you gotta talk about the same old nonsense. Preferably, you don't watch the same video on every single person's channel. Hopefully, you're here to watch my channel and my video only. But yeah, we're gonna go ahead and do exactly what our boy Stray here is talking about. We're gonna make this video at least 10 minutes. If we don't, we fail. So this graphic here is a little bit different from the one that we saw in the producer's letter. So we're gonna go ahead and take a look at both. Let's start with this new one. Is there anything else that I didn't read here? Look forward to the global campaign in 2025 in July. Okay, so anniversary sized campaigns twice a year. This was already common knowledge as throughout the history of Dokkan. Well, I don't know about before when I showed up, but normally I always talk about the flagship celebrations, the marquee celebrations, yearly, anniversary, and worldwide celebration. Unfortunately for global, both are so close together that we get kind of the short end, and especially if you're someone who saves up for the marquee celebrations most of the time, you are left after October 2nd or around this time to just do nothing until you get to the next year's July, which is horrible, right? So now that global and JP have achieved full synchro, we no longer have to deal with that, where now we get the anniversary when JP does, which is in the end of January. So January, February, March-ish, we have the anniversary. And so now what they're doing is they are moving up where the worldwide celebration used to be to where the Tanabata celebration used to be for JP. So now things are more spread out and much better. But this was still already known because worldwide is just as big as the anniversary. And this is why sometimes some people even claim, I'm going to forget about summoning on the anniversary and I'm just going to save for the worldwide, which is a horrible thing that global players had to deal with. But that's what they're talking about here, which is not any breaking news. Like, we've seen this before. So before, JP during the months of January, February have the anniversary campaign. That's not true. Well, I mean, kind of. Anniversary starts at the end of January. So these, okay, this is kind of weird. End of January into like early March is the anniversary. During that time, they don't even show what's going on global. I'll show you what happens on global. Global gets a throwaway nothing banner with old characters that released like 6 months prior. So yeah, last year we had Trunks as our Dokkan festival while JP players were jumping at anniversary. You can understand how global players were very salty at the time. So then July to August, global, wait, what? International version release, JP version. Oh, right. So international version release, we get the anniversary. And during that time, some of the thunder gets stolen from us because JP players get to now see what the thank you celebration or the Tanabata LR is going to be. We still get the bigger celebration, but JP gets the fresher, shinier new toy. That's what happens. And then both versions jump into September, October, where we get the worldwide celebration. So last year, global players, while we were enjoying this, actually, this is a bad example. We should not be looking at 9 year. We should be looking at 8 year. While global players were enjoying this, JP players were getting this, the Super Saiyan 4. Then we have one little break, and then we go into the worldwide celebration, which is, again, horrible for global players. And that's how it is. This is just as big as the anniversary. It's kind of funny how, based on the graphic, they're kind of making it seem like it's more. It's really not. They're both the same, like normally. So now, after full synchro, oh, they're changing the anniversary too. So they're no longer going to be calling it an anniversary, which, okay, so to be fair, this actually does make sense because the anniversary commemorates a year of Dokkan for the game since its release. Global's release was in the summertime. So our anniversary is not technically happening anymore. It's a different thing. So they're rebranding the joint celebration that would normally be a JP anniversary and a global accelerated anniversary into the Dokkan Supreme Celebration. What is this, a Taco Bell order? Dokkan Supreme Celebration. Okay. You got to hand it to them, man. They gave the dumbest names ever.
Super Saiyan Blue Evolution Supreme.
Okay. So that's their new celebration for anniversary. We're still gonna call it anniversary. And then, oh, you know what? Maybe they're also doing this because after the number 10, maybe the 11th anniversary just doesn't have the same sort of ring to it. So now they can market the next celebration that would be anniversary as like the first supreme celebration, and they can sort of capitalize on the shininess of that new name. It's marketing 101. That actually kind of makes sense. So now both versions are getting this. It's the same thing. No content is changing. And well, at least I don't think. And then global Dokkan campaign will now be the worldwide celebration. So this is now being moved up to here and also being rebranded because, like I mentioned before, worldwide celebration was originally a way to commemorate how many downloads we had in Dokkan. It used to be based on the milestones. 200 downloads celebration, 250 million download celebration, 300 million download celebration. Got to the point where that was no longer happening on a yearly basis at the same rate. So they changed it to worldwide. But now, since they're already in the market of rebranding, I guess they're rebranding this too. So they're moving this to where the Tanabata used to be and where the global anniversary used to be. So in a sense, global players are getting the same anniversary experience back where it has always been up until recently. And so then after that, they're going to be moving the Tanabata celebration down here and calling it something fresh as well. So I would not be surprised if they call this the extreme, you know, Dokkan of the world celebration crispy. I don't know, you know, like they're going to call it something else. I don't think this, well, I can already tell you it's not going to be. This is not going to be at the same level as these because they say right here, anniversary sized campaigns twice a year. That's what these two are. They're color coded accordingly. These two will be anniversary size celebration. This will not be. This will be the next best thing. So effectively, the natural order has always been and has still remained in balance. And that is 2 flagship celebrations every year. All they have done is change the name. So starting next year, this will be called the first Dokkan Supreme. This will be called the second, or the 1.5 Dokkan Supreme Baja Blast 0, right? And then they'll have Tanabata right after, which is weird though. They should at least spread that out. If they're gonna, you know, this is not on the same level, but if they want people to summon on the Tanabata celebration, they should at least give it a little space. Because looking at the dates here, July to August, that is most definitely where this is. Although this, yeah, July to August. Yeah, their dates are weird. It really is technically the end of June, but this is where it would be. And then September to October is this one, end of August into early September. So there you go. That's what we're looking at here for this celebration change. Nothing has changed. I have rambled now for 8 minutes and I have not been able to do this for 2 more minutes. I will not fail this challenge. All right, Stray, I'm gonna come up with something right now. I've got it. So we're gonna do a little infographic to rank the biggest celebrations of the year. This will help those of you who may not have seen my other videos to sort of visualize where you should be prioritizing your stone saving. So like I said, and like they said, anniversary and worldwide are the 2 flagship celebrations. These are the most important. So we're gonna go ahead and just give these, we'll make it the biggest size, and then we'll also give it purple. Okay. So these are the biggest celebrations of the year. So these you absolutely must save for. We'll make it, yeah, we'll do 48. Okay. Next, on the next tier, we have the Tanabata Thank You Celebration, which is now turning into Ultra Special Extreme Evolution Celebration Baja Blast. So this one we're going to color as bleu, and we are going to make this one slightly smaller. This is the next big celebration. Unfortunately, this is going to be positioned very inconveniently after the worldwide celebration, or the Dokkan global celebration, as they showed here. So that is where we are getting this one. So if you are saving, prioritize these, but then after that, you can focus on this one. Then we've got Golden Week, and I know that a lot of people are currently calling this year's Golden Week Silver Week, which is, first of all, very clever, and I kind of dig that. Secondly, hopefully it will not be this mixed next year. Hopefully they will improve upon this. So this one we're gonna go ahead and color code as, actually, let's just make it yellow. It's golden. Okay, and let's make this one a little bit smaller right there. That would be the next big celebration, in my opinion, that you should be saving for. Lately, it's been a little weird. So if you don't feel very confident in Golden Week, then the next best thing would be Sunday. I'm gonna go ahead and keep these two at the same level because these are, in my opinion, kind of close. I still think Golden Week is ultimately better because it's a dual Dokkan Festival Part 1 into a Part 2. It also includes Goku Day. So actually, yeah, I take it back. This one is definitely at a lower level. So we're gonna go ahead and put this one at a lower tier, and we're gonna give it a green color, Sunday. Now, at this point, it might honestly be New Year's. No, see, the problem with New Year's is that it's right before anniversary. So I can't say that this would be like the appropriate place to be summoning. I think this might potentially be the next most interesting celebration. And we're not going to know what this is going to look like until we get to that point this year, because up until last year, we had Dragon Ball Heroes. Now that Dragon Ball Heroes has been killed off, and now that the stupid replacement has been doing terribly, who knows what's going to be happening in this time slot. The Heroes EZAs will continue, but there will not be any newer summonable banners for Heroes characters. So I don't know what's going to be happening there, so we're just going to put a big question mark. But this one would probably be the next big celebration in terms of hype. Again, we're working our way down here. So Heroes replacement, and then after that, New Year's. And what do we even color code that? Pink. We'll color code that pink, and we'll bring this down to 18. And then after that, whatever's left over are just the ones that, on all full transparency, you should be skipping. Like the Autumn Dokkan Festival, the first one after Worldwide, or in this case, the first one after the Tanabata celebration. That one you would skip. Pre-Worldwide, let me go down here. So this would technically be a skip, but this time they made it an EX, so that's different. This would be a skip. This would be a skip normally, and it very much is. This is a skip. This is a skip. So you're effectively skipping every other celebration, which I honestly think is a good pace for moderate spenders, casual Dokkan players. I know some people just don't like saving for a very long time. So if you're basically just skipping every other celebration, that's a good way to have your cake and eat it too, I think. Except for down here. You'd probably skip multiple down here. We'll have to wait and see what they do with this. But yeah, there you go. So I made it. I made it past 10 minutes. Ha! In your face. Content creators unite. This is what we got to do to pay a rent around here, especially when Dokkan is dead. Guys, thank you so much for watching. If you enjoyed the video, obviously like down below. Let in the comments your thoughts on this name change, brand change. Do you think that this is all just fluff, or do you think that something actually major is coming along with all this? Let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. And let me know if you guys feel the same way about my priority list in terms of celebrations and whether or not you should be skipping every other celebration. Also, be sure to subscribe for more Dokkan content in the future and click the notification bell so that you'll let YouTube know you want to see more of my stuff. Thanks again. Stay tuned and always remember to Dokkan responsibly.